The dev portal is ready to go. We just got to switch the environment to release.
Cool. Conversate also ready?
Yeah, the QA results is positive. We just got to submit it for review as soon as we can.
Cool.
Welcome to Even Journal, and today we have a special episode with two major announcements. But first of all, hello, Will.
Hi there.
So, packed agenda today. So I'm very happy to say that this is going to be a fully software-focused update. First thing, we have Conversate 2.0, and this is going to be the biggest update to our core AI engine ever since we launched. We'll also talk a little bit about what we have in mind for the future. Yeah. And the second is the official launch of our long-awaited Even Hub. And stay with us here as we're going to demo through it all, and let's get into it. So, Will, let's talk about Conversate first.
Sure. Yeah. Conversate, as we have covered in previous episode, ever since we launched, it has become the most popular feature. And for some people might not know about it, a little bit of recap. It is a conversation agent that you can activate during your most important conversation. So it helps you with important information, explaining stuff. And also after you finish your conversation, it does the auto meeting summary. So you see all the summaries.
Yeah.
So one thing that we also mentioned from our previous episode is that a lot of users are asking, yeah, it's useful, but I wanted to have more context so the agent can understand me better.
Right, because we're talking about contextual AI, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, isn't it? Yeah.
So essentially, to me, it kind of feels like you need to prep your agent before the conversation starts so they actually understand more. They can perform better.
Sure.
And that actually goes the same way for the person who's having the conversation, right? So for a lot of us, before we have any important conversation, we also need to prep ourselves. Some people would just jot it out a cheat sheet that you can use during the meeting. So that's why we really build this new feature called Prep Notes.
Prep Notes.
Yeah, actually, let me just pull out my phone and show you real quick.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, it's the easiest way. So now if you really go into the Conversate feature, you see this new section called Prep Notes down below.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So right now I don't have any, but I can click on this app button.
Sure.
So it brings up this new window where on top of it's a text box.
Wow.
You can just type in whatever relevant information you wanted to have during the meeting, right?
As also cheat sheet.
Yeah, as the cheat sheet, and also for the model to understand.
Gotcha.
So you can type in, you can copy paste, and also not only that, you can upload files through this add button here.
Locally from your phone?
Yeah, from your phone, you can upload your PDF, your doc, anything that you find might be related to this meeting.
Sure.
So after you've done this, you can click the save, and now it goes out here, then it has this newly created prep notes, right?
Okay.
So essentially you can toggle it and then hit the start. The conversation will have this prep notes. Like we said, the prep notes is not only going to help the model to understand better.
Sure.
So what you put here in the text box will also be accessible on the glasses on the HUD. So on the HUD now, later I can show you that we changed the UI. You will have a section where it shows your prep notes. You click in and you see the whole thing. And then if you don't enter anything in this text box and only upload the file, the AI will also try to auto-summarize and to put a summary version of it in the text box.
So I can have the AI basically summarize my brief and then pack it into something that's more readable in a short amount of time.
Yeah. And then it will be accessible on your HUD.
Well, one little question that I had actually is that I see that you have to toggle one on for each conversation. So does that mean you can have multiple that you can switch between?
Yeah, you can actually create a multiple ones and you can decide which one to pick before your conversation.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about today? And then you can say,
yeah. Like, for example, if you're a salesperson and you have different clients or you have a different pitch book, then you can have different ones here.
Oh, yeah. That's
exactly
super helpful. Yeah. I think it's a very beautiful UI that we have made. But do you want to do a quick demo of it so that like I can pretend I'm like a journalist and you are Will and we're talking about, so let's say G2.
Sure. Yeah, let me upload the G2 spec sheet. And,
sure.
We can see what the model will react. Okay. So before we get into questions, so I wanted to also expand a little bit on the change we made to the UI on the HUD. Yeah, because we've got definitely mixed feedback on the UI. Some people are saying they love how much information they are able to get, but also a lot of people are saying that it's too disturbing as we're putting so much stuff.
You're blocking half of the screen.
Yeah. So we're really refreshing the UI to make it much, much more minimal. So now you don't see all the AIQ on the left stacking together. So these are all going to be hidden when you're not using it. And also we remove the top title summary because we think most of people only feel summary is useful after the conversation, right?
So it'll be hard to read it.
Exactly. So right now, top left corner is actually the prep note.
Oh, great.
You see this prep note that didn't have this icon. If I click in, it actually shows me the auto summary from the G2 spec sheet.
So I just loaded in.
Yeah, so I can actually scroll through to see any important information. Yeah, and now we can get started. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Let's start with the easy one then. Let's see how it performs on a baseline level. So how much do these glasses actually weigh, G2s?
Now I see it. So yeah, it tells me it's 36 grams.
How wonderful.
But I think that's important. That's an easy question.
Yeah, of course. I mean, as the CEO, hopefully you know the answer. So let's try something a little bit more challenging too. Let's say, how many cycles do the even G2s go through when we're doing the flexibility test on the temple?
Okay. Yeah, now I see it says we ran through 40,000 cycles.
Yeah. As we do.
Yeah.
Well,
folding and non-folding.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, I see. So all these are numbers related, and I wonder how it would do when we're being a little bit more vague and semantic. So let's try another one. How about languages? Can we translate Arabic into English on the glasses?
G2 fully supports Arabic.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, the model says it, but the translate part, and I think this brings up a good point that the output is only going to be as good as the input.
Okay.
Because we haven't really defined. I assume.
Yeah, as it says, it supports Arabic as part of the real-time translation suite.
Correct.
And Arabic as input language.
Yeah, our brand we don't have.
Exactly.
So I think team is working towards it.
Super cool, actually. Cool. I think that's enough information to showcase how powerful Conversate is now. Conversate 2.0, you can have all these new features and new added utilities that we're talking about. And Will, I understand that we have also created a campaign film on this. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I actually, we got the honor to work with one of the award-winning director, Niels Kastlund, on one of the campaign video for the new Conversate feature, because we feel like the feature is now much better polished, and we wanted to really get the words out there, have more people to try it out. So this campaign video will definitely help us get the words out there.
The new Conversate experience is available now. You just need to update your firmware through the Even Realities app. So that's our little snippet on Conversate 2.0. And now I'm going to transition into my personal favorite section of this video, which is Even Hub, the long-awaited Even Hub launch. So to recap those who might be a little bit unfamiliar with what we're talking about over here, the Even Hub is our upcoming app store, and it's an open platform that lets all the developers build whatever they would like for the G2s. And let me show you what exactly I mean. This is going to be great because this is going to be Will's first time seeing it on the phone as well, instead of just on Figma. So
yeah, that's why don't demo it.
Yeah. Why don't I show you exactly what we're looking at here?
Right. Yeah.
So let's do it. Great. Let me open it up. So this is actually the Even Hub tab. So with this new update, as any normal user, you will be able to see a third tab now on the bottom of the navigation bar. So once you're in this page is whole Even Hub, everything Even Hub related.
Okay.
So right here, you can see this beautiful carousel. So we think these are the most important and essential things that you should try for your personal daily life. But let's say you have something a little bit more specific in mind. So for example, if you're looking for a game to play, so you can right now actually switch to entertainment. So over here, you can click into each single one of them, and you can filter for the apps that you think it's important and you want to check. And on the top left over here, you have the search bar. So suppose now I'm trying to install an app, like let's say ebook. So I can go ahead and click into the tab, and then that will do it to app detail page. Over here, I'll get all the essential information that I need about ebooks. So for example, its tagline, its category, and what's the most important, of course, is the visuals, right? So what you will be actually able to see on your glasses in the OS. So when you press install, you're able to install it, and then you'll be able to open it, whether it's over here, or actually I can go back to the home page.
Right.
So
you have an extra block here, right?
Right. As you can see right here, it's going to sit right next to quick list, even AI, and all the other.
You can reorder it.
Oh yeah, of course. When you long press it, you can reorder it to however you like, and we'll also save that preference for you. So if you log in via a different phone, you'll be able to keep your ordering.
Of course.
Yeah, and actually, when we're talking about reordering, I think it's important to mention that you can also throw them onto your menu however you like. So with this new menu customization feature that we have pushed out not long ago, you can actually go into the menu customization, and you can actually drag all these.
Okay, so now you see the installed app also in that.
Exactly. So why don't we go ahead and open it, and then, yeah, so now you will be able to actually see it on my glasses and as I'm loading in books right here. I mean, these are just a fraction of the things that you can do with EvaHub, right? Because right now we imagine that as we're opening up the glasses to more use cases, people are going to be able to personalize their experience however they would like. And I would like to think of this as the Swiss Army knife to your even G2. So you can download as many as you would like, and you can make it as unique as you would like.
So it gets really personal.
Right. Personalization is the key. So I've actually done a little planning over here. So I've actually picked out a couple of my favorite apps to demo to you because I think these will be the most useful in your life as you're walking through your day.
Yeah. Can't wait to see more apps. Yeah.
Imagine it's currently the morning and you're now in your closet wondering what you want to wear. You don't want to necessarily pull out your phone to check the weather, but now you can load up the weather app by Nixus. And now you can see a very detailed view of the weather coming up today.
Okay, there's a lot of information.
But suppose you're walking to the subway station now. I know you normally bike, but even transit over here, created by Langerhans, is telling me that your subway is actually departing in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, this is actually a feature a lot of our community member was asking, right, to add on Navigate. So now you have it from EvaHub.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, whatever gets the job done. Yeah, precisely. So, I mean, since you're biking today, as you missed your subway, so I imagine a little bit of background music will be able to spice up your ride a little bit more. So here's Display Plus music by Ollie Mankiw.
Oh, wow. Is that Spotify or?
Yeah. So this is actually a direct integration to Spotify. So
that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Imagine now, fast forward, you're in the office, so you're waiting for a meeting to start. So let's load up Even Chess by Harmon, and this is one of the most complex ones I've seen.
Oh, wow. So you select the pawns through your ring, through scrolling?
Correct. You actually make all the controls via your ring, which I think is...
That's pretty hardcore.
That's as hardcore as it gets.
But it's really cool, yeah.
So, all right. So the long day is over, and imagine now that you just picked up a brand new Tesla. I understand you biked here, but somehow you're going back home.
Okay. Yeah, big day for me.
yeah, absolutely. So let's check on the car with the Tesla app built by Nixus. So you can actually load it up via your glasses, and you can see right now what's the charge level of your Model Y and what's the interior temperature, trunk status, everything.
Oh, this one is really cool. This is by far my favorite. It's just I can already see it being used in my daily life.
So notice in the imaginary data I've shown you, you didn't even have to open up your phone even once, right? So I think this is also kind of what we want to touch upon with the enablement of EvaHub, that you only get the most essential things in front of your eyes at any select given time.
Yeah, so I can activate access or the app just from my glasses and the ring. I don't have to open up the phone app.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be really powerful. And I also want to talk a little bit more about EvaHub as a whole, because we didn't just build a storefront on the app and have all these apps be hosted. Right. We actually spent the last few months working relentlessly on the whole infrastructure side of things as well. So building a good experience for the developers, as we understand that developers are going to be the most important people that's going to fuel the growth of this the whole ecosystem and make this whole experience possible. So if you would like, I actually want to show you what we have built for the dev portal, which is on the web end, and we can walk through what a developer may see when they're creating a new...
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, for sure. So actually right here, what you will see is the page after I have logged into evenhub.evenrealities.com. And this is basically your dev portal. This is where you manage all your projects. And this is where you see all your creations, basically. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and upload this as a private build. So what this means is only you will be able to see it. And you can start testing now already on your phone if you are a developer. Yeah, and right here, as you can see, v1.0.0, this is our first build that we have uploaded. And as this fills up, you're going to see a lot more as you're testing more builds. And from this point on,
So you can manage your version here, right?
Correct. You can go ahead and promote them to either to beta or to public. After I've made the essential feedback changes based on what people are telling me, I can go ahead and upload a new build with all these changes, and I can start looking to make that my public build. So by public, I mean all the people using our EvenRealities app will be able to locate it in EvenHub, either via search or other discovery methods. And this is the page that I would do that. Because I'm only uploading a build, all this information is still blank. For example, the screenshot, the about, the description, the permission, and all the things that we're looking at over here. So this is the chance for you to make it really your own. Really think about what to market to everybody that are using EvenHub and how to better push your product, push your creation to the general public. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm. And then I can submit it for review. And one last thing I do want to add here is that with this whole design, even though you get all these new apps that are exciting, us as a platform in realities, we're still doing a lot of due diligence when it comes to privacy.
Yep.
So we make it a rule that the apps only ask for the minimum amount of permissions needed. So if your app is not using microphones, then we're going to bar the API from being called, so that as a user, you can be sure that your audio is not being listened to by some third-party app. And that same kind of privacy philosophy also goes into Conversate. So we don't really use your data or whatnot to train the model. So we're essentially just providing the service, right? Yep. That's basically what we have created for the developers as well. So now I only gotta wait for the team to review everything and make sure that it's a safe build to push to the public, and then I can showcase my creation to all. So actually, we already have a community of around 2,000 developers, and we already have seen around 60 apps that are already made by them, and they're going to be available in your shop right now. So you can go ahead and start downloading them, installing them, and start playing around with the ordering of the homepage as you would like.
Yeah, let's get the party started.
Yeah, let's get the party started. Exactly. So that's everything that I wanted to cover for EvenHub. Is there any last remarks from Will before we conclude the episode?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a really important episode for us. We're really trying to take this chance to show more clarity and the transparency to our roadmap. I know ever since we launched the product, a lot of comment revolves around we need to step up in our software, we need to build more features, we need to fix bugs faster. But that's actually what the team is really working relentless behind it. That's the scene for.
Yeah.
So this episode is to give you an idea on what we're really listening to our community. We're trying to come up with stuff that's going to improve the utility of G2. And this is just the start.
This is just a start, and I'm super happy to be a part of the journey.
All right.
Yeah, so let's say a quick thank you and see you all in the hub, and then we can wrap up this huge episode.
Yeah, see you all in the hub.
See you all in the hub.
The EvenHub is going to be available as early as next week. Stay tuned for the official communication on our channels.